If you were a parent and your child was born deaf, if there was an option to give them their hearing back, would you take it? The solution, a cochlear implant. But what is it? A cochlear implant is a small, complex electronic device that can help to provide a sense of sound to a person who is profoundly deaf or severely hard of hearing. The implant consists of an external portion that sits behind the ear and a second portion that is surgically placed under the skin. The implant includes a 1. Microphone, which picks up sound from the environment. 2. A speech processor, which selects and arranges sounds picked up by the microphone. 3. A transmitter and receiver stimulator, which receives signals from the speech processor and converts them into electrical impulses. 4. An electrode ray, which is a group of electrodes that collects the impulses from the stimulator and sends them to different regions of the auditory nerve. An implant does not restore normal hearing. Instead, it can give a deaf person a useful representation of sounds in the environment and help him or her to understand speech. There are many benefits of having cochlear implants. The hearing world often views deafness as a disability or disorder. For this reason, many parents decide to have their children implanted. Some other reasons include easier communication with the hearing world and better education opportunities for their children. There is only 108 schools in the United States for hard of hearing or deaf individuals. The average deaf high school student graduates high school with a 4th grade reading level and 6th grade math level. There are also better job opportunities in the future for hearing children. Aside from the outside world, oftentimes there is increasing frustration in households of deaf children. 90% of the time, deaf children are born to hearing parents, which creates frustration because it collides the two worlds. The cochlear implant allows them to enter the hearing world. Besides jobs and education, having cochlear implants allows children to engage in simple things that having hearing allows you to do, such as making telephone calls, watching television, and listening to music.
For him.
I wanted him to hear my voice. I wanted to be able to read stories at night.
So you wanted him to be able to hear and,
Yes, I wanted him to be able to hear. And of course to speak.
I like to think of him as not having a disability, and I feel that the cochlear allows him to not have any hindrance or not be able to not do anything.
But we felt really strongly that if we were going to be giving her the opportunity for a new life, that we certainly could look into the opportunity of giving her hearing.
On the other hand, many parents rather their children not receive cochlear implants. 10% of deaf children are born to deaf parents, and many of these individuals view deafness as a unique difference, a culture, and a way of life. Because children need to be implanted at such a young age, you are taking away their choice to be part of this culture. If the child is born into a deaf family, then the home will already be centered around the deaf world, which they would want their child to take part in. Another reason why parents might not want their child implanted involves the actual risk of the surgery. Implants destroy all residual hearing, so if the implant does not work, if they start out with a little bit of hearing, they now have none. Only 20% of implant recipients are able to understand spoken language without using visual supplement. Also, this surgery is very expensive, ranging anywhere from $40,000 to $100,000, depending on the child's needs and the center at which the surgery is performed. On top of the risk of surgery, the after effects are another reason why cochlear implants may not be the ideal choice for some individuals. Many individuals struggle with the self-consciousness of the physical appearance of a cochlear implant. For these reasons, many people decide implanting is not the best option for their children.
The idea of this cochlear implant surgery is so scary. It's so invasive. They drill through the skull and have to go very deeply inside. I'm afraid that cochlear implants are going to create a bunch of robots. It just doesn't seem right for a deaf person because our natural communication is signing and being in the deaf world. But I don't want the implant for Heather. That's it. That's my final decision.
We're a deaf family. Peter and I grew up deaf. We know what it's like growing up in a hearing culture. You don't understand
you only
deaf
want to
people's
accept
feelings.
one way, deaf way. There are both worlds here. You only want deaf world for your children. You are limiting your children. You are forcing them.
Ma,
Wait a minute. You are forcing them to live only in a deaf world. You are not hearing the truth.